Shocking Halloween Ends theory reveals Laurie Strode is the villain. Halloween Kills left off on a cliffhanger that will resolve in Halloween Ends, and the time gap between the movies could make Laurie the new villain. Halloween Ends will resolve Halloween Kills cliffhanger after a time jump, and a shocking twist theory could make Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, the series' new main villain. The new Halloween trilogy has made it clear that Michael Myers, James Jude Courtney, was never specifically after Laurie, with his main goal being to return to his childhood home to gaze into his own eyes in the reflection of his sister Judith's, Sandy Johnson, old bedroom window. However, after the shocking death of Laurie's daughter Karen, Judy Greer, at the end of Halloween Kills, Laurie is driven by revenge now more than ever. This is far from the first time Laurie has faced off against Michael. Survived his attacks in Halloween 1978 and Halloween 2 1981, and famously battled Michael in Halloween H20, beheading him and ending the series before dying to him in another confrontation in Halloween Resurrection. In these films, Laurie is a hero, a victim of Michael who finally gets the upper hand on the murderer who has haunted her for years. Halloween 2018 chose to start the timeline over, making Laurie obsessed with Michael while cutting the familial ties between them that were established in the original Halloween 2. Because of the of Dr. Sartain, Haluk Bilginer, Michael ends up at Laurie's compound, fueling her idea that Michael is solely after her and making her think that she's the only one who can put an end to the evil. Halloween Kills solidified the idea that Michael kills only those who are in his way as he ventures back to his childhood home. The ending of Halloween Kills has Michael killing Karen and then taking his place in front of Judith's window, suggesting that he would stay there until someone else intervenes. Meanwhile, Laurie is set to go on a rampage of revenge in Halloween Ends as she has been pushed to her limits. With Halloween Ends confirmed to jump ahead in time after Halloween Kills, this theory states that having Michel perpetually stuck in the Myers house while Laurie attempts to get her final revenge could be a fresh take on the Halloween formula and make Laurie the new villain. Halloween Ends time jump doesn't affect Michael Myers. Seeing Michael stuck in his childhood home, never ceasing to look out of Judith's window, would be a welcome departure to Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills similar stock and kill formulas. If going home was Michael's only goal, the town of Haddonfield should learn from their mass hysteria mistakes in Halloween Kills and simply let him stay there until they figure out what to do with him or until he potentially dies. Michael was described in Halloween Kills as having the mind of a 6-year-old boy, and at the end of that film, he is shown to have accomplished his simple goal of returning home. It has been proven in all the timelines of the Halloween franchise that it is impossible to keep Michael contained, so letting him endlessly stand in his home is an unexpected yet effective way to deal with a killing machine and put a temporary end to his rampage. Michael has displayed an inhuman amount of patience in this new Halloween trilogy, so it wouldn't be strange for Michael to be a stoic shape always visible through a window of the Myers house. Michael becomes a Haddonfield Halloween tourist attraction. Michael standing in the Myers house opens many possibilities for how the people of Haddonfield would react to such a situation. The themes of mass unrest may well bleed over from Halloween Kills, having some people protesting outside the Myers house and others treating it as a macabre Halloween tourist attraction. The new Halloween installment can also call back to Halloween 2018 by having more true crime podcast characters like Dana, Rhian Rees, and Aaron Jefferson Hall, trying to capitalize on Haddonfield's living statue of a mass murderer. And while Halloween Kills showed the fear that Michael can put into an entire town, an attraction this bizarre would no doubt garner the attention of the nation. It would be interesting to see the moral debate on what exactly to do with Michael as he's stuck in his childhood home. The conclusive Halloween Ends could also bring in social commentary like Halloween Kills attempted with mob mentality by having the Myers house surrounded by armed guards and what it means for a small town to essentially become militarized. The chaos that Michael creates when he's walking the streets of Haddonfield is clear, but Halloween Ends now has the chance to show what he can do to people's psyches when he's not killing but still visible to all who walk by. Teenage characters are also a staple of the Halloween franchise, and the Myers house tourist attraction could draw in brave teens daring each other to get close to the house around Halloween time, much like Lonnie Brent LePage did in the original Halloween. How Laurie becomes the villain in Halloween Ends. Laurie is bloodthirsty by the end of Halloween Kills, and while Laurie's granddaughter Allison, Andy Matichak, survived Halloween night, her daughter Karen was brutally killed, leading Laurie on a path of revenge more extreme than in Halloween, 2018, or Halloween Kills. In this way, the theory suggests Halloween Ends could transform Laurie into the new shape, turning the tables by stalking Michael and attempting to break into the Myers house to put an end to him. If the Myers house becomes a tourist attraction surrounded by armed guards, Laurie will have to find unsavory ways to complete her revenge, possibly leading to her attacking and killing people to reach her goal, mirroring Michael's bloody path back home in Kills. Laurie was portrayed as unstable in Halloween, 2018, and this can be capitalized on as she is left reeling from the death of Karen, feeling like she has nothing left to lose. The ending of Halloween, 2018, teased a role reversal for Michael and Laurie when she stalks him around her compound and attacks him from the shadows, and having her go full shape in Halloween Ends would be a twisted payoff to this development and differ from her past heroic portrayals. This trajectory for Laurie could also tragically isolate her from Allison, mirroring Laurie and Karen's relationship, and turn Laurie into the villain she has been obsessing over for the last 40 years. Is Halloween Ends the last one? Why the title is probably lying to you. Halloween Ends is believed to be the closing chapter in the Halloween saga, but the title might be lying and referring to a different end. Halloween Ends is the final entry in the Halloween reboot trilogy, and while it's believed to be the closing chapter in the franchise, the title might be lying to the audience and could be referring to a different type of ending. Some of the biggest trends in the film industry in recent years are reboots and requels, and these have been especially prominent in the horror genre, with different franchises being revived through these trends. One franchise that quickly joined the fun with a reboot trilogy is Halloween, which started strong with David Gordon Green's Halloween in 2018 but was followed by a disappointing sequel in 2021 titled Halloween Kills. In order to reboot the Halloween franchise again and refresh the story of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, the reboot trilogy is a direct continuation of John Carpenter's original movie, completely ignoring all the sequels that followed. Carpenter's Halloween introduced viewers to Michael Myers, who after killing his sister on Halloween night 1963 when he was 6 years old, was sent to Smith's Grove Sanitarium. 15 years later, Michael escaped and returned to his hometown Haddonfield, Illinois, where he began stalking Laurie, who went on to become the franchise's main final girl, even if she was later replaced by her daughter, Jamie Lloyd, Danielle Harris, and Sarah Moyer, Bianca Kajlich, in the not-so-popular Halloween, Resurrection. Since Carpenter's original movie, the Halloween movie series has gone through different retcons, the most recent one Gordon Green's reboot trilogy, which is coming to an end in October 2022 with Halloween Ends. As the new Halloween movies ignore the past sequels, in this timeline Laurie and Michael are not siblings, nor are they related in any other way, and Laurie had a daughter, Karen, Judy Greer, and a granddaughter, Allison, Andy Matichak, who also became targets of Michael Myers. Halloween Ends is the final entry in the reboot trilogy and is believed to be the closing chapter in the franchise as well, but the title might be fooling the audience into thinking that, and it could end up taking the Halloween saga in a different direction. Halloween Ends title suggests it's the franchise's last movie. The Halloween movie series has been close to its end a couple of times, but the fact that the final movie in the reboot trilogy is titled Halloween Ends is a more obvious indication that the franchise might be getting its final movie. Carpenter's original plan for Halloween was for it to be an anthology movie series, a concept that was retaken in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which told a story separate from that of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, but the franchise ended up going back to Michael Myers' story in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, this time with Jamie Lloyd as the lead as Laurie was killed between Halloween 2 and Halloween 4. Halloween seemed to have reached its end again with Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, but it was rebooted 3 years later with Halloween H20, 20 years later. This movie brought Laurie back, didn't include Jamie Lloyd, and gave Laurie a son, John Tate, Josh Hartnett, and it was followed by another fake conclusion to the franchise, Halloween, Resurrection, which killed Laurie during the first act. Halloween Ends has everything to make the audience believe it will close the Halloween franchise, and it goes beyond the movie's title. Halloween Kills saw Michael Myers killing Karen, so Laurie now has even bigger reasons to end with the boogeyman and will surely do everything she can to keep Allison safe, so narratively speaking, Halloween Ends makes sense as the franchise's final movie, However, Halloween Ends could actually be hiding something more in its title, and it might not be the end of the franchise after all. Why Halloween Ends probably won't be the last one. The Halloween franchise is one of the longest-running ones in the horror genre, covering not only movies but also video games, comic books, and novels, so it has always found a way to continue expanding. The franchise has also become well known for its retcons and the different timelines these have created, along with the remakes by Rob Zombie, so there are reasons to believe Halloween Ends might not live up to its title in the most literal way and won't be the closing chapter. Along with the trend of reboots and requels, different franchises have teased their end in recent years only to come up with yet another movie, as recently happened with the Scream saga. Nothing ever really ends nowadays in the film industry, and there are always ways to continue expanding, so Halloween Ends might instead be referring to a different type of ending, one that, funny enough, will allow the franchise to keep going for a couple more years with more sequels, soft reboots, or even spin-offs that could expand on the stories of some characters. What Halloween Ends title will really mean. The most common and obvious interpretation of Halloween Ends title is that it will bring the franchise to an end, but taking into account the above-mentioned trends, the franchise's history of retcons, and the different ways in which other franchises have continued to expand, Halloween Ends could be referring to another type of ending. The title of Halloween Ends could instead be referring to the end of Laurie and Michael's story, which doesn't exactly mean that it will be a good one for both. Some theories suggest that Halloween Ends will kill Laurie and Michael, or at least one of them will die, as they will follow the trope of one having to die for the other to live and thus save the rest as well. Halloween Ends being the end of Laurie and Michael's story instead of the end of the franchise makes more sense when looking at other franchises, such as the Scream universe. Halloween could follow those steps and, supposing Michael Myers survives, now focus on a new generation of characters, led by Allison, who will have to defeat the Boogeyman. The franchise could even opt for prequels in order to better explore Michael Myers' backstory, especially his time at Smith's Grove, which is something Rob Zombie did in his remakes. Now, another ongoing trend is multiverses, and with the Halloween franchise having different timelines, it wouldn't be surprising if this is turned into a Halloween multiverse, which would allow Michael Myers to star in more movies after Halloween Ends under the excuse of exploring what he does in other universes/timelines. There are various reasons to believe Halloween Ends won't be the end of the Halloween franchise, but the studio is risking losing the interest of the audience if it continues to expand the franchise after Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends. Halloween